Hello and happy Saturday. It is August 3rd. Can you believe it? We're this far into the year. On this day, we are going to compare a couple rides from Disneyland to the Magic Kingdom, mainly focusing on the rides that are in like Frontierland, New Orleans Square, that part of Adventureland, that part of the map. So we're just going to jump right on into it. We're going to compare 7 different attractions in this video, and I'm going to tell you which one I think is better. So starting right off the bat, we're going to start with the Tiki Room. It is the same show on both coasts, so that's a push. But I think the building at Magic Kingdom is better. And the reason I say that, I think the seating is better. You have backs so you can rest a little bit. But it's the same length, but it's just purely on the fact that I think their structure is more impressive. So I'm going to give the edge for Tiki Room to Magic Kingdom. The second one's a little bit more detailed. We're going to go straight into the Haunted Mansion. And this one's really tough. Both Haunted Mansions are unique in their own styles. I think they're both very good. They do share some elements. Some rooms are the same. But one thing for me that pushes it over the edge on the Disneyland side is we do get the Nightmare Before Christmas during the holiday season. I think that makes ours just a little bit more special. The fact that you have 2 different attractions that run in one calendar year, even though we haven't seen Haunted Mansion normal in a very long time over at Disneyland, I think it's a little cooler over at the Disneyland side. Don't get me wrong, this is a hard one. I think Magic Kingdom's Haunted Mansion is really cool. I think their stretching room is really cool on how they do their audio. If you've never experienced it, it's kind of like it's almost like a 360 audio thing going on. Where Disneyland, it's kind of one audio shoot. Things are, it kind of feels a little bit more ghosty in the stretching room, which I think is really cool. And then there's the stairs room in Magic Kingdom. I think that's really cool. It's a little bit different story, a little bit different order of operations. I kind of prefer the room to room combo on the Disneyland side, but that also might be just because I'm just more used to it. Um, but that's just my take on it. Is I prefer the Disneyland side, and just having that Nightmare Before Christmas element, it's big, and it's the one that's gonna give Disneyland the win on that one. Third one is gonna be what is now the Adventureland Treehouse. It is the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse over at Magic Kingdom. I'm gonna give the edge to Disneyland because we got Jane. I'm a big fan of Jane. If you know who that is, they do not have Jane over at Walt Disney World. Um, Both are really cool, but just give it the slight edge. If you've done one, you've pretty much done both. I think the views are a little bit better at Disneyland too. Like, you can see a lot more. Don't get me wrong, you can see quite a bit on the Magic Kingdom. It just doesn't seem as interesting, I guess is the best way to put it. The views up at the Disneyland one, it feels like you can just see more. So I'll give the edge to Disneyland on that one. Jumping over to its neighbor, pretty much, Jungle Cruise. Both very good. Enjoy both of them quite a bit. Magic Kingdom will take the edge, though. I feel like it is a longer attraction. I feel like you're closer to the animals. I feel like there's a lot more stuff to see. Um, I actually, I don't, I did say it was close a few minutes ago. I don't think it's as close, actually. Magic Kingdoms, I think, is significantly better. The skippers are both great, fantastic, telling jokes and leading the tour, but there's just more. There's just more on this one for Magic Kingdom, so that's gonna get the win on this one with Jungle Cruise. Number 5, Winnie the Pooh. So this one is interesting because at Disneyland, Winnie the Pooh is in Critter Country, really on the west side of the park. The Winnie the Pooh at Magic Kingdom is actually in Fantasyland. So they're drastically in 2 different parts of the park. They're about the same length. They pretty much share the same rooms for the most part. They're running in different orders of operation. The Magic Kingdom kind of feels more of a storybook telling, while the Disneyland doesn't have that element. I prefer also the Disneyland ride vehicles. You got the 3 rows, you're in the honeycomb, kind of got a big top on the back of it, where this is at Magic Kingdom is kind of like cut off. I feel like the motion of, you feel like you're kind of like bouncing along, is more felt at Disneyland, not as much at Magic Kingdom, in my opinion. And the Disneyland version feels like it's just telling the story of Winnie the Pooh, cool highlights, things like that. The Magic Kingdom version feels like we're kind of forcing something a little bit more. They're both very cute, and you can almost go push on this one, but for me, think the Disneyland version is better. And another kicker to that one is the line at Disneyland is always significantly shorter than the one at Magic Kingdom. You've been to Magic Kingdom, this is a long line. Disneyland, this can be really short throughout the day. The queue is probably a little bit better at Magic Kingdom, but Winnie the Pooh is reopening later this year, and we may see some improvements to that queue. It is a very scenic area, though, as well. I find it very enjoyable. But there's quite a bit to do at Magic Kingdom for kids in the queue, so it might get the win there. But overall, I prefer Winnie the Pooh at Disneyland. All right, big hitter at 6, and in my opinion, this is actually probably the easiest one on the list of the ones we're going over today. Pirates of the Caribbean, easy goes to Disneyland. Much longer ride. Just the way of operations, 2 drops. There's a story to it. The Pirates of the Caribbean and Magic Kingdom, still very fun. I don't get the smells as much at Magic Kingdom. I get it thrown right in my face at the Disneyland one. But length of attraction, it's almost 14 to like 8, 14. So it's something along those lines. It's a 6-minute difference. Sure, the queue in Magic Kingdom, there's a little bit more going on, but for me, this is almost a no-brainer. You get Johnny Depp, Jack. There's just more. You get the Pirates of the Caribbean characters, Jack Sparrow hanging out. Sure, he shows up at the end of Magic Kingdom, but just Disneyland just has the edge on this one. And it's not very close. I give this one definitely to Disneyland. The last one is Big Thunder Mountain, and this one's actually the hardest one for me. It's almost, do you want to turn right or do you want to turn left? The rides are basically identical. The loading area, I prefer Magic Kingdom. I think it's cool that you're coming out of like this mine chute. I think that's really cool. I also like the fact that you're right off of the water. I think that's a lot of fun. But I love at the end of the ride, you're going through like the old Western town. You have the dinosaur. Those things are just kind of very iconic for me, and just kind of, they always remind me of Big Thunder Mountain. You're kind of by a geyser at the end of Magic Kingdom. It's as close as a push to me as possible. I can't feel like you can go wrong. I think they're both very good. I struggle with this one. I wrote down push. I almost have to stick with a push because they're the rides are the exact same length. I almost want to give it to Disneyland because I just prefer it. I prefer it in the aspect of I've just been on it more. So I really struggle with it. But it's just, it's a push. It's a push. They're both fantastic. It's basically almost the exact same ride. The question is, do you like turning right or do you like turning left? You like turning left. If you like turning right more, you're going to Disneyland. If you like turning left more, you're going to Magic Kingdom. Did I get that right? Yeah, I got that right. I think so. So that's my comparison, guys. How do you compare? We're going to do a few more of these videos. There's a lot of rides we can compare throughout Disneyland and Magic Kingdom and everything at Disney World. Do you agree with me? Comment down below. Thank you guys for always watching. I appreciate it. If you're not following, please do so. I got Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff. Dex the Caribbean across the board. Thank you guys. I'll see y'all later.